on the typical 30-day window, asked for more time. The court at the time granted that request, but said, you know what, we'll at least release him on tether in the meantime. And then he absconded on the tether. What happened with the tether, Judge, and I will be fully honest with the court, is Mr. McGlon got in the shower with the tether. It fried his leg. He has a scar. He ended up taking it off in fear of what would happen. That's why he didn't surrender. So he takes full responsibility for not surrendering and for removal of the tether, but he does have, for lack of a better word, Judge, the scar to prove it on his leg at the time. All of that to say, Judge, he's been in custody now for about 4 or 5 days. It's my understanding that the demanding state has already had their window within which to come and get him before he was brought back on this warrant. So what I would be asking for at this time, Your Honor, is the court to consider a bond and to consider releasing him either again on his own recognizance or on tether. I can get into my bond argument if the court would like.
Hold on, just wait.
Yes, ma'am.
Corporal, am I correct in understanding that he was not picked up from the jail within the 30-day period? And this is why the other judge put him on a tether and told him to come back to the jail to be picked up at a later date?
No, Your Honor. He was arraigned June 16th.
June what?
June 16th of 2020.
Okay.
And then on July 1st, that's only 2 weeks.
Okay.
He was back on our review date, and the judge granted a personal bond. So that was only 2 weeks.
It was only 2 weeks. Okay. What state wants him?
Mercer County, Pennsylvania, Your Honor, for failing to appear on forgery, unauthorized act in writing.
Do they still want him?
Yes, they do, and they never even wanted a bond in the first place. They wanted him remanded.
Go for your bond argument, counsel.
Well, Judge, before I touch bond, I just want to make it clear, and I believe we're all on the same page, that yes, it was between the 16th and the 1st that Mercer County had to come and get him. However, it's clear that Mr. McGlon was in custody longer than that time, right? Because we had to get here for the arraignment and he wasn't released on tether until July 3rd. So we know that he was in custody at minimum that 2-week period, but additionally, only logically, he was not arraigned the day he was arrested and he was not released the day the court ordered him released on tether. So
Hold up, stop. Corporal, what date do you show he was arraigned on the extradition warrant?
June 16th of 2020, Your Honor.
So they would have had until July 16th.
Yes, Your Honor.
Because he signed the waiver.
Yes, Your Honor, did.
Okay. So they would have had until July the 16th, counsel.
Understood, Your Honor. He was in custody until July 3rd.
Okay.
With regard to bond, Your Honor, I have spoken at length with Mr. McGlon yesterday. I've spoken with his fiance, James, who is incredibly invested in his well-being. I will just level with the court. I do believe Mr. McGlon was terrified of what would happen if they found out that he tried to remove the tether. And I know that is not an excuse, and he knows that. However, he has assured me that he will surrender on this warrant. He will continue to come to court. He takes care of his mother, who...
How is he going to get to the requesting state?
I believe, and he can clarify, I do believe his fiance will accompany him to Pennsylvania to surrender on the warrant. And in the meantime, I will also facilitate, I will contact counsel in Pennsylvania. I just spoke with Mr. McGlone yesterday, so unfortunately, Judge, I didn't have the time to do all this in advance of today's hearing. But I, of course, will reach out to defense counsel in Pennsylvania and see if there's a way on this forgery charge, Judge, that we can get this resolved, even short of him having to go to the state. But if, of course, if he needs to be there and respond to the charges, he and his fiance will get to Pennsylvania.
Corporal, have you notified Pennsylvania that he is currently in custody?
Yes, Your Honor, I have. They have emailed back. They do want to come pick him up, and they are requesting no bond.
Your Honor, if I may.
I'm listening.
I would just also note that he's had no criminal activity over the last 3-year period. So to the extent that the court would be considered about any sort of danger to the community, that, you know, one, that's not even, shouldn't even be a factor to be considered based on the forgery charge, because it's not, it's all things considered and not a very serious charge. And additionally, Judge, you know, he has the record in that sense.
No, it's not a serious charge. It may not be an assaultive charge.
Understood, Judge.
If I were to set a bond, I'm going to need some money. If, okay, that's number one. Number two, it's not like the man didn't know for 3 years that this matter was pending and couldn't have went to Pennsylvania over the last 3 years. So, you know, he could have walked to Pennsylvania by now.
What's up, nerds? It's time to get served. It's your boy Phil coming at you. How we doing? Happy Thursday night live to everybody tonight. I got a ton of fresh clips from today. We have a premiere from Bay County. He makes an appearance and he does not disappoint. I have part 2 of the Pitbull, and I have a beautiful PPO case, and also Judge Grandmama. So let's get it rolling. I'm so glad you're here with me. Oh, let's start. I found Attorney Hecker's long lost son. He's Mr. Squinty. Let's roll.
I'm here for. I appreciate the court's time. Thank you very much. I did fix the registration right after this I was ticketed. I do have proof. I do have proof of that if you need it.
Perfect, Rich. Raise your right hand for now.
It's Hecker's son, Squinty.
Swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
I do.
Go ahead and put your hand down. This is ticket number SP 1427949, people of the state of Michigan versus Daniel Kevin Hardy. Mr. Hardy, state your name for the record.
Mr. Blobby.
Daniel Hardy.
All right, thank you. Mr. Hardy, on January 31st, 2023, at approximately 12:18 p.m., were you driving in the city of Detroit?
I was.
And what were you doing to suggest you were driving carelessly?
This was I had lost my job January 26th. I was downtown trying to make some money door dashing. I made a wrong turn, an honest mistake, and went down a one-way. I saw an opportunity to get in the correct lane ahead. And as I made the crossover, the police officer stopped in front of me, and it was an honest mistake. I'm not used to being down there, and I admit
Okay.
I admit responsibility for it, but it wasn't.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. So driving the wrong way on a one-way street, I do find that to be careless driving,
Yes.
sir, so I find you responsible. Based upon the recommendation, I'm going to amend the careless driving to impeding traffic. That's 0 points to your driving record. The fines and costs are $175. We're going to dismiss count 2.
Okay.
You have 30 days to pay the $175, sir. Come inside the courthouse, the 36th District Court. or go online to 36districtcourt.org. You have any questions?
I do not. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Have a good day, sir.
Burglary in unoccupied dwellings.
Okay, now we got a clip out of Bay County. We all know this judge. We've seen him before. This was from today. Oh, he had a cast of characters. Oh, I tell you.
Resisting officer without violence. Do you understand those charges?
Yeah, that's my mom house. That's my mom house.
Okay.
Because yes, my mom give me title, my car and my driver license. That's why I don't can go out. I don't can work. That's why I come back my mom house. Yes.
Don't talk about your case.
Okay.
I understand
I
you
don't.
The public defender, it's the Zoom trigger, I call it. So like every time he talks, the Zoom pops up, and the only time this guy comes in is when people are talking. He goes, "Be quiet! Don't talk about your case."
Listen. Yep.
Mr. Nguyen, would you be more comfortable if I had a Vietnamese interpreter?
Yes, please.
Okay,
Please.
let's bring him back tomorrow.
Yep.
Let's get him an interpreter.
Thank you.
Because this is not going to go well.
You can step out, sir.
Who's
He's
this
gonna bring
guy?
you back tomorrow with an
So
interpreter.
no, I can talk a little bit. That's okay. I can understand a little bit. That's okay. Yes. I can do.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Do you want a public defender?
Can you tell slowly, please? Yeah.
You want an attorney?
Judge Vance was on it today too. He was Mr. Comedian today.
So you-
No, that's okay.
If I
You
talk
just
slowly and loudly, it
Yep,
works.
just stop.
Okay. All
Talk
right. No,
slowly.
I understand.
Yep.
I get it. All right. It's hard for me
Yep,
though.
thank you.
The loud part.
Thank you so much.
The slow is very hard for me. Okay. So at this time, you want an attorney. Is that right?
Yes,
Okay. We need you to fill out the appropriate paperwork so I can appoint one for you. I'm going to appoint one for today's hearing only. So you're going to have one for first appearance today. That's the gentleman that told you to stop talking. That's the best legal advice anybody can give you. Okay.
yeah.
All right. Deputy, criminal history.
South Carolina 22, criminal mischief, violent burglary. Ohio 22, trespass, bribery 12, Kentucky controlled substance 21, Utah petty theft FTA 20.
All right. Bond set at 10,000 on the burglary. 10,000 on the burglary.
This guy's a
2,500
cat
on the
burglar.
resisting. Court date's going to be March 27th, 9 o'clock. No contact with the alleged victim.
You step to your right. Next.
Oh, here's next.
Violent charges. But
Bond set at
nothing since
5,000
then.
for domestic violence battery. 25,000 aggravated assault with a pistol. No contact directly, indirectly, or through a third party alleged victim. Court date will be March 27th at 9 o'clock. No firearms.
We can hear you. Go ahead and stop talking.
Your Honor,
Sir,
can I say something, please?
please.
I've changed my life, you know what I mean?
Don't say anything.
And this all stems from my wife finding out about a young girl.
Don't talk about your case today. Talk to
Oh,
your
sorry.
public.
Yeah, he don't want you to give out information
I'm
about
sorry,
the
I'm
case.
sorry. So I won't say that, but I'm asking you, I own a business here in Panama City for the last
Okay.
14 years. And I need to be taking care of my business, you know what I mean?
I do.
I'm just,
But it
you know.
seems like you've been taking care of more than your business, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I understand that. But I shouldn't have to pay for my business because of that, you know?
Well, that's
I mean,
between
I'm
you and
respectful.
your wife. That's between you and your wife, man. The charge is serious. You understand that?
Yes, I understand.
Okay.
I really do.
All right.
And
I know.
I wish I could tell you the circumstance, but I'm not because I can't, you know?
Right.
And
That's true.
I shouldn't be here. I mean, seriously.
But here
By
we are.
all rights. I am, but here I am. But that's,
Okay.
I'm asking to kind of think about the amount of the bond, you know?
For now, let me just put it in perspective for you. You've got a violent criminal history out of Ohio decades ago. Just to put it in perspective for you,
Yeah,
Last
I'll pay
year,
for that the rest of my life.
last year, that's neither here nor there. Last year, I saw people that were just carrying concealed firearms on the beach.
Mhm.
And I was giving them $50,000 bond, okay? So I took into account the fact that you're older, more mature, and it's been decades since you've been charged. I took all that into account when I set your bond. That's not the normal bond I give for an aggravated assault in a domestic situation. I'm just telling you, that's not. That's
Okay.
significantly lower than what I normally give.
Okay. So what do I
Okay.
need to get out? How much would I have to pay to get out to a bondsman?
5 or 10% with the bondsman.
10%, generally speaking.
Between you and the bondsman.
Uh-huh. Okay, thank you.
For 3.
Yes, sir.
Step on the T. When the green light comes on, sign. Red X. State your name, sir.
And I also didn't hold it.
All right, let's go next. We got we have a clip at a Wyandotte. I have no idea what's going on with this lady. Just give me 1 second. I had to pull it up. I had to stop Judge Grandma because I couldn't believe what I was seeing. Just give me 1 second. Oh boy. I couldn't believe what I was seeing.
Not sure. I lost my job a little bit ago.
Okay, well, everybody has a different definition of what a little bit ago is. How long is it? When did you lose your job?
Before this year, 2023. I was working in 2022.
And where were you working?
Amazon.
Right, not bad.
Okay, so why did you lose your job?
Just didn't show up. Couldn't get a ride.
Just couldn't get a ride. Couldn't get a ride. DeSanto is boring her.
All right, ma'am, if you were to test today, what would be detected in your system? If you were to test today, what would be detected in your system?
I don't know.
Well, I'm guessing then that means that you would not, that you would have some substance detected in your system somewhere. So ma'am, how are you supporting yourself if you haven't been working?
Family.
Family, what does that mean?
My family's been helping with my bills.
Okay, have you been applying for work? Why are you not working?
Yeah, I have been.
Where?
Hoods on Northline I applied for.
Okay, that's one location.
Yeah.
So you've applied at one place in 2 months?
Nah.
Yeah.
State your name.
Oh, okay.
Because I would have given
That
you.
hasn't worked out so well since you're not working, so why aren't you applying somewhere else?
I don't know.
Do you want treatment, ma'am?
Huh?
Did you not hear what I said?
Something about treatment?
Do you want treatment?
Yeah.
You're sure?
Yeah.
Your Honor, I didn't hear, did she say yes?
Should, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, well, here's what the court's going to do. The court's going to indicate a $10,000 personal bond, defendant to be tethered to treatment through Wayne County Jail.
She's like, all right, let me get out of here now. Enough.
You're going to be booked into the Wayne County Jail, and then you'll be tethered to a treatment facility, ma'am.
Will the court date remain the same?
You're not to possess or consume any alcohol or drugs unless prescribed. Yes, court date will remain the same.
I'm going to jail.
And you're going to remain in jail. And you're going to go down to Wayne County. They're going to transport you down to the Wayne County Jail. And then they will tether you to an inpatient treatment facility.
No. Nothing, Cha. Not
How
comprehending
long?
anything.
When? Why?
Well, and you need treatment, clearly. You also indicated that you want treatment. And so.
I have a child, ma'am. I have a child and I've been kind of out of my mind. Don't know where she is.
How old is your child?
She's 3 years old.
Okay, so where was she yesterday during this incident?
I was trying to find her. I don't know. I need to get out of here so I can find her.
No, just a moment, ma'am. You're indicating that you have a 3-year-old child and you don't know where your child is.
Yeah.
Your Honor, if I may, when I interviewed her, she told me she had no children.
Ma'am, do you have custody of your child?
No.
No?
No.
Okay, who has custody of your child?
Her father.
Her father.
Yes.
When is the last time that you saw your child?
A month ago.
Okay, and so why did you not indicate that you have a child on your financial affidavit form?
I don't know. I didn't want to bring her into this.
But yet you indicated you paid for childcare expenses.
Yes, I did at one point.
At one point, that's not your current expense?
No, it's not. I'm just confused.
Well, I don't know what you're confused on, man. You either have custody of your child or you don't. You either have a child or you don't.
I have a child. I don't have custody of her.
And so why do you not have custody?
She's clearly going through withdrawals. That's the problem. And every word that's coming out of DeSanto's mouth is killing her. It's like fingernails on a chalkboard.
I lost custody in 2019.
Okay, is that when your child was born?
No, she was born in 2020. I lost custody 2021.
Okay, and why did you lose custody?
I really don't know.
Well, that's not accurate.
Because her dad took it from me.
So is there a court order, ma'am, that says that her father has custody?
I don't know. I don't have it.
Was CPS involved in 2021?
Yes.
Okay, so CPS, did they terminate your rights?
No. No.
No, okay. So do you have, conditions that you have to comply with so that you can see your child again?
No, they're reserved.
Reserved, okay. Well, ma'am, you're going to be in treatment.
Yes.
So your child appears to be safe because she's not with you. You don't even have custody of your child. So I don't believe that there's any danger to your child at this point based upon what I've heard. So $10,000 personal bond to be tethered to treatment through Wayne County Jail.
Ma'am,
That's why you have a personal bond, so you can be tethered to treatment. All right, thank you. We're going to be off the record.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. All right, and so Mr. Stern, I believe that there's another individual in Wyandotte Jail for you to go chat with.
Yeah.
That Wyandotte jail is full of characters. Whenever
Okay,
I
that's
see
fine.
that
Mr.
room,
Gopal, are you ready to go on,
whenever I see that room, I know there's something good coming out of it. That was sad, but it was horrible to watch. I'm not poking fun, but I mean, it just shows you the sad state of affairs of some people. Oh my God. All right. I know you've seen it. You've heard about it. I showed a clip about it. I don't care who else played it. It is worth showing again. Simpson is ice cold gangsta OG right now. Flash the Simpson gangsta signs for Waukesha County, Michigan. Let's do it. We know what's coming now.
Child. However, the court has reviewed and has been submitted a police report that details the contacts he's had with her, which the people do believe go well past the scope of communications regarding the child, and are requesting at this time that he be.
This one's so good. It's like an old episode of The Sopranos or Game of Thrones. It doesn't matter how many times you watch it. It's still great.
Remanded into custody because people have serious concerns that he will not leave the victim alone. He will continue to contact her. And while there is no threatening or violence alleged in any of these contacts, the people would certainly characterize them as harassing. And I do believe that it is appropriate at this time that his bond be revoked and he be remanded into custody. Thank you.
Response.
Thank you, Your Honor. In speaking with Mr. McGlashan, and we would indicate to the court that Mr. McGlashan does have permission to contact the complainant in this matter with regards to the child. A substantial amount of the conversations are about the child. They are to be, there's some communications to be made through the My Family Wizard app, but he was allowed to make contact via text if there was some emergency. There were some situations, without going into too much of an admission, but there was some situations where she was not responding on the Family Wizard. There were texts to get her to communicate with regards to the child. We would again reiterate, as we discussed in the bench conference, that there's no threatening behavior, no threats being made towards her, or any discussion about this particular case or anything to involving the case. My client has been the primary caregiver of the child, and while some of the things may not seem to be an emergency, given his relationship with the child and him being the primary caregiver, he had a heightened sense of concern with regards to some of the things that were being discussed. The parties are currently in divorce proceedings. It's my understanding that they are trying to come to some resolution, and that my client is really just looking forward to moving forward, caring for his son, and continuing to work. Your Honor has given him permission to leave the state. He is out of state right now. Is set to return on Saturday. And he does have another job where he will be working as an announcer at the water polo tournaments on Saturday and Sunday at the University of Michigan. So he is just asking for the court's consideration with regards to this. We've had substantial conversations as to how he is to handle any contacts that are made to him, and that he is not to respond. He's to get in contact with my office and allow us to deal with it without him responding. He understands that he's the one with the case and the PPO, and that, any contacts will fall on him. So he's just asking for some leniency from the court to be allowed to continue working and taking care of his child, and would ask that we adjourn this matter so that I can get the new case, see what's going on with that, and move forward.
Miss Anderson, is there an opportunity for me to speak at all during this? Because
Mr. McGlashan, if the judge gives you permission, you can speak, but I would advise you not to speak about anything involving either case.
Sir,
even if it,
you,
yeah, sorry, go ahead.
you can tell me. I mean, you can tell me what you want, and
Okay,
your
sir.
attorney gave you her advice.
Yes, she did. Your Honor, I'm not incriminating myself in any way here. I am verifiably, provably the victim of domestic violence from the person who got the PPO on me and kicked me out of my house. Miss Landy, the DA, is the one who received that evidence and gave me a very cold and short answer when I asked why my attacker was allowed to stay in my home and get a PPO on me. At the PPO hearing where they received the PPO, I got into evidence and a FOIA request that my wife does in fact have a violent history, including a no contest plea and 2 arrests after that.
Sir,
I'm just saying, sir, she lied to kick me out. Is what I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Let me just stop you for a moment. Because here's what I understand. You, as to the child or children in common, you had been directed by the family court to only make contact with, I guess it's Rachel Glash, through My Family Wizard.
Yes, sir.
And that was only, and that the only exception to that was then if it were an emergency.
Or time sensitive, yes, not necessarily an emergency, but time sensitive regarding pickup or drop off or something that needed to happen when she was dropping the kid off, like, you know, make sure he brings this or that because we planned on doing this, that kind of thing. And if she's not answering, I would literally sent OFW. And I'm an idiot. I shouldn't ever respond to anything, but I feel like
sitting judge, hold on.
Yes, sir.
You wrote to her, a sitting judge signed a protection order.
She wrote that to me, sir.
Hold on. That I acquired evidence that you were lying to get the PPO and to throw me from my house. And I literally gotten those documents that afternoon before you would not have gotten the order, and you know it. And just to be clear, I've gotten video transcripts of every hearing so that we can remind the judge of everything you said and done, and that she's not just relying on my memory. Sir, as
Yes,
to
sir.
even the parameter, because I'm going to give you a shot to tell me, and there are more.
I know, sir.
To explain to me in your mind how that fits into the sort of expanded parameters that the family court gave you over our parameters.
Honestly, sir, I don't really have a lot to say about that. I was just trying to explain my mindset.
Tell me, sir.
Okay. You said how my mind.
Answer. If you want to talk to me, then you'll answer my question.
Yes, sir.
Because I'm trying to figure out, first of all, you were supposed to have no contact according to our case. That gets expanded because you're in these family court matters. The judge in the family court, everybody's in agreement, has said no contact except through My Family Wizard. And the only things outside of that are to be certain things. What I just read you, tell me how that fits into any of those things that constitute an exception.
I just honestly believed as a victim, if I screamed the truth loud enough, someone would come to my rescue. I don't know the system. I don't have a lawyer.
But that is not, hold
yes,
on.
Sir, I know.
That's not, that can't be a purpose for you contacting.
I misunderstood the framing of the question. I'm sorry. I
The
just
framing of
honestly
my question that I've said twice?
No, sir. Oh, sir. I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. I don't mean to agitate you. It's been a very long
I am not
year.
agitated. I'm just trying to give you every opportunity to explain to me some of these text messages.
So random.
And how they fit within, you're before Judge Vandenberg?
Yes, sir.
How these fit within what Judge Vandenberg told you you could do.
I'm not 100% sure I can make a great case for that, sir. I've just been very willful and heartbroken and defiant, and I'm sorry.
Okay.
It will not happen again.
Sir, there are, that was like one of the shortest ones. I don't
Yes,
know
sir.
what your legal fund has to do with an emergency.
With my legal what, sir?
Your legal fund that somebody's created for you. I don't know why that's an emergency.
Sir, I realize now through therapy that some of those things that I thought were things trying to get my wife to tell the truth before we had to come into this madness seem more manipulative and threatening than I had intended them to. I understand that. I'm working very hard to reframe things like that. All that stuff is literally just me trying to say.
Hold on. No. As I understand these emails, these text messages, these are occurring after everybody's told you what to do.
Yeah, I'm not disputing that, sir. Again, I'm trying to answer the question, but I feel like the question is changing as I answer.
My question's not changing. I'm trying to figure out.
It doesn't fit.
Sir.
It doesn't. Yes, sir. There's a delay.
If you want me to go through all of these and ask you for your explanation, I will.
I understand now what you're saying. Sir, I just want to do better. I have no explanation and it's not an excuse. I'm just heartbroken and I was trying to keep my family together and I'm not good at it. And it will never happen again.
Mr. McGlashan, again, I'm going to advise you just not to say anything further. It's not furthering our goal here.
Okay. I just want to do better. I'm sorry.
I'm going to adjourn this matter 1 week out to the 9th, 2023, 9 a.m. or as defendant's Zoom invite indicates. The court, having reviewed the text messages, understanding that it would be consistent with what Judge Vandenberg does, knowing the circumstances, allowing for emergencies, and giving the defendant here the benefit of the doubt, those things that are time sensitive. I read one example, but there are a number of examples through this thing that are not time sensitive. They certainly in this court's mind don't constitute at all an emergency. And quite frankly, and I get what counsel's saying in terms of threats, maybe a physical harm or something like that. But quite frankly, when I read through these, they are threatening. They're threatening, and you can phrase it maybe in terms of harassment, but they're really threatening in terms of getting a response.
Yes, sir.
And I mean, the other person on the other end, you want to keep talking? I'll let you keep talking.
No, sir.
No, it's up to you. It's up to you. I'm going to give you every shot to tell me what you want me to know.
I don't want to get in trouble, sir. I'm not trying to make you angry. I'm sorry.
I am not angry. I am trying to give you every opportunity to tell me. I just don't like being interrupted, but that doesn't make me angry. So go ahead and tell me what you want me to say, because once I get going, I don't want to be interrupted.
I promise.
So you go ahead.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead. Tell me what you want me to know.
My answer to every question will just be simply this. I naively thought that if I can prove I am the victim of an assault and getting kicked out of my house, that none of this would matter, that it would all just kind of be voided from the point where I can prove she lied and I'm an idiot. I'm sorry.
You done?
Yes, sir.
Bottom line, these don't constitute emergencies. They don't constitute something that needs a direct response or an immediate response of her or would be time sensitive. They are really an attempt to get someone to say something. They're actually like baiting types of emails to get her to maybe say something, or posturing maybe for his divorce case. That's not the purpose, certainly, of Judge Vandenberg's order. If, even as the defendant says, I wanted to get somebody to listen, I don't think she's the one that needs to listen. If he thinks he's been the victim of something, then he needs to get it to the prosecutor's office, police, whoever the heck he needs to get it to. But there you go. There you go. What did I tell you? I'm done. I kind of tried to give my explanation. This defendant won't be quiet. It's March 9th, 9 a.m. Defendant's bond is revoked. Sir, when are you returning to the state of Michigan, or do you want me to come get you?
I will return Saturday morning to work at Michigan. Can it be Monday morning?
What time?
Please?
What time Saturday morning?
I think my flight gets in at 9:25 or something. I have to work at
Defendant's
12.
bond is revoked as indicated.
She beat me.
Defendant is.
How is this possible in America?
Defendant is to turn himself into the Washington County Jail by noon this Saturday, which is the 4th. And sir, when I'm telling you, so we don't have to play around the edges of what I mean. If it's 12:01, you're going to have a problem with me.
Yes, sir.
12 noon. If defendant fails to return himself in, a bench warrant will issue for his arrest and he will be held without bond.
Gangster. Absolute gangster.
Told you what rules I play by. You still wanted to interrupt me? I'm telling you the rules now. Try me. Thank you, counsel.
Sir, I thought you were done. I have a delay on my phone. I couldn't.
Yeah.
I thought you were done. There's a delay. I'm in St. Louis.
He's still talking to me.
I wasn't interrupting. I'm in St. Louis. I
I'm
can't.
done.
Mr.
I'm
McGlashan,
done.
just log off, Mr. McGlashan. We'll talk later.
Come on. Come on. Bravo, Simpson. Bravo, sir.
So who wants to go next? Well, let's do this. People of the state of Michigan versus Saison and
How can we follow up with that one? Oh, we can.
Calling the incident charges.
Oh, are we ready? Judge Vance does it again. I was saving this one.
That charge, single, one
Yeah.
charge. I understand you've been given copies of paperwork and advised of your rights. Is that true, sir?
Yes, sir.
Based on your application, I find you do qualify, and I'm going to go ahead and appoint the public defender to represent you. So you have an attorney now. Any question about that, sir? Jeff, you come in, Mr. Destina?
Domestic in 21, domestic 17, VOP 19. Locally here, it goes back to 2008, and you have Florida history back to the 98.
I said 2,500, court date's March 3rd, 8:30. Good luck, sir.
Damn, son, 2,500.
Give me the phone. No, you're right.
Just calm down, calm down.
I apologize. Based on that excellent legal argument, your bond is
That's
$5,000. If it was 500, could you
go
make
ahead.
it? No, you couldn't. So it's okay.
Hey, it's all right, man. I appreciate you, man. You could have gave me an R&R, been nice today.
Over my dead body. I'm a douche. Yeah. You're a genius because I'm going to be your judge tomorrow.
I didn't call you a douche. I did not say that. You said that.
No. All right.
Next.
Mr. Destifino.
Yes,
See you in the
sir.
morning.
Yes, sir. For what, sir?
That's
For
your
your
court date.
charge. For your court date.
I'm good.
I'm your judge.
Right there. Just don't, yeah, get it, go.
You can say whatever you want.
Don't do that. State your name, sir.
He's great. He's great. He was loving
State your
it.
name, sir.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll into part 2 if you guys have all seen part 1 of the pit bull, where the soft sit is representing himself, he's pro se. They recessed, they came back. I cut it because it was long. This is part 2, where the soft sit is questioning the arresting officer. So the way I left it was the prosecutor was questioning him. They broke into recess. They came back the same day. It was a 10-15 minute recess. They came back, and now he's going to question the cop who arrested him and is on the body cam. So I'm going to pick up right where that left off. If you want to see part 1, it's on my video from 2 or 3 nights ago. I will post it in the description later.
Versus Andrew Michael Smith.
But honestly, if you didn't see part 1, part 2 is better than part 1. So just sit back and enjoy, and I'll be quiet now.
Sir, just a suggestion is that you hand those all the pictures at once to the officer, have him go through, ask the foundational questions that we've talked about, and then if he agrees, then you could have them all admitted at once if the prosecutor doesn't object, rather than at each time, and then you could simply talk about each one separately.
Ready to show him to him? Is that okay?
I'd rather you hand them to him so he can hold it and take a look, even if you, okay? And do you like the way that I suggested? It's going to be the easy.
No problem.
All right, you can approach, sir.
All right, now do I have to hand them to him before that I speak?
I'm sorry.
Do I have to hand them to him before?
You can hand them to him and speak, or you can begin your other questions. It's your order.
Okay.
Yep.
So these are now they're now documented as evidence. Okay, then I'll present the exhibit. All right, where we left off was you said that you got there about 12 o'clock.
Correct.
Okay, I'm going to show video. If we had that video, it would show that you're not being truthful at all. And you didn't turn, what time did you, so if you did get there at 12 o'clock, what time did you turn on your body cam?
It automatically comes on.
When you got there, how long did it take for you to call for backup?
Probably 2 to 3 minutes.
How long have you been on the force?
Almost 37 years.
Almost 37 years? Excuse me.
Almost 37 years. It's okay.
All right, 37 years. And you thought that you needed backup for me for a loose dog?
Yes.
All right. I'm gonna hand you these exhibits, these pictures that we took. And I'd like you to look them over, because before I hand them, you said that that's what I had to get back to. You said that you stated you came from Maxwell and Forest. Is that a two-way street? So, let me back up. Is Forest a two-way street?
No, I didn't say that. You said
no, I know. I said, let me correct myself. That's why I had to backtrack, getting a little excited. So you came down Maxwell, and then you came to me, right?
I came down Forest, which is a one-way going east.
Huh? So you're gonna lie again? Remember, you're under oath.
Sir.
Oh, I can't. That sounds like an insinuation.
And it's argumentative. So just ask the question. You might not like the answer, but that's where the thinking goes, and you know how you figure out how to use it to your advantage.
So you came down Forest.
Yes.
Okay, I see in the comments why I explained it the last time, guys. It was the court. For some reason, the court didn't go back to the main screen in the court. They do it after a little while, but if you just listen, they're in the top right corner. There was nothing I could do. It was Judge Cobb's courtroom. They just left it on the body cam. The prosecutor kept saying the whole time that they had old equipment and all that, so maybe they were having a problem, but they leave it on the editor for a while and it goes back. So if you listen, it gets really good, and then they go back to it in a couple minutes.
All right, well, let's do this. See, your body camera doesn't show the position of his squad car. But on the video that I gave to the office, it shows his car pointing to be west, down Forest.
Sir, you're gonna have to do this by way of asking him questions and not making statements, okay?
And this is.
And then because that's at the end, you can make argument and you can do it however you want, but right now you'll just have to address him by questions.
Officer Eden, how was your car faced westward on Forest in front of my house, in front of the land that I take care of? How was it faced westward if Forest is east and it's a one-way? How are you faced this way in the opposite direction of oncoming traffic?
I made a U-turn at Maxwell.
Did you initiate your body cam before you made that U-turn when you seen that I was supposedly in a violation? Is that when your camera turns on?
It turned on once I had contact with you.
But you wouldn't catch yourself. The camera didn't catch you making an illegal U-turn in the middle of a one-way street, across the street from a party store where you said children and all these people play. It didn't catch you making a illegal U-turn?
I never viewed it for that question you're asking now. But I made a U-turn at Maxwell, and it did allow my car.
Asking the question. So it's not to beat them down in the bush, it's to find out, are you used to doing illegal things to get somebody else doing that you perceive to be doing illegal things? That's why the question was.
I understand it, but it's argumentative, sir.
And this is why it's not hard for me to deal, but your policies don't allow the things to come out the right way. So I'm trying to get.
Oh, no, I've already heard it, and I understand that you want to make a point that he did that. In your estimate, he police officer Eaton, made an illegal move to come to see you about your dog when your thought is he could have just come the right way down the street, parked near your home, had the conversation with you about your dog. It's noted.
Okay, I'll move on. Where did you see my creature? Referring to what you call as a dog. Where did you see it?
He says, call my creature what you refer to as a dog. I can't with this guy. I can't.
I saw your dog in the southeast portion of the vacant lot.
What made you think the lot was vacant?
It's nothing there but grass. It's nothing there. No houses, no fence, no fence line, no backyards.
Okay, it's called a side yard. Did you see me?
I'm sorry, I missed the last portion.
Did you see me?
You call us a side yard?
Yes. Did you see? But
I did see you. I did
see you. Me?
Yes.
So it wasn't really vacant. If you see me, is that considered to be vacant?
The portion of that field lot is vacant. At that time, I believe it'd be vacant.
All right. Do you know the law that you thought you were enforcing, that you came to enforce? Because I heard him ask you a question earlier, and you said you believe that it's a law or policy not to have your dog, as you call it, leash. Do you know that law? Can you recite that to me if you know that for the court?
Specific city
ordinance numbers I
Yes.
don't have, but you do have to have your dog leash, and not a lot of dogs that roam free. And you have to have the dog tagged.
Do you have any paper stating what you said is right? Like as you come into contact with the people, do you have anything stating that this is from the city and this has been an ordinance that is in
No.
effect?
No.
So how would you go about it? Would you go, when interacting with somebody who doesn't know something, if this was the case, how would you go about dealing with them?
My years of experience would tell you what the city or state ordinance says. In that case, you didn't have the dog tagged after you admitted it was your dog, and you didn't have him on a leash. He was roaming freely.
All right,
That's
I
it.
have something here. If it can be admitted also, I'm a veterinarian. My dog, my creatures have license. They have shots. They're always tagged. They're always wearing a collar. In fact, that day, it was wearing a collar. They always have their collars on.
Judge, I'm just gonna object to the defendant's statements. He's testifying instead of asking this witness a question.
I would ask that you would just ask questions. If a statement is ending with a question and it is in the form of a question, it's fine, but you are starting to testify. I mean,
That's what it seems.
Okay, you understand what I'm
Yes.
saying?
So even when he says this, that it didn't have, you said my dog didn't have a tag. That it didn't have tags. All right. Did you check the dog, Officer E?
Check the dog for what?
See if it had a tag. How did you?
He didn't have a tag. He didn't have a tag or a leash. I can see that.
How do you know?
It's plain view. I can see that from plain view. That he didn't have a tag or a leash.
He didn't have a leash. Okay.
Of all relevant statutes, including the leash law, which is relevant to this case because you have been charged for a stray dog not on properly held on a leash.
Okay, so there's something going on with the audio. It's going in and out. I'm going to cut. All right, so today we'll come back to this. We'll do little pieces of this because this guy gets me so perturbed and upset. Oh, you like perturbed. You like that word, huh? Perturbed. I use a teacher word there. All right, I'm going to go to a case. It's a TPO out of the 1200 block today. She is, we call her Judge Woke, and she gets an earful. And I'm going to have an update on this one too, because the stream cut and I picked up on it. So we'll have an update on this one too. But the beginning is fantastic.
Summer good. And how do you know the respondent? She's my child's father, other baby mama. Okay. So y'all share children with the same man? Yeah, basically. All right. And how long have you known her? About 6 years. You said 6 years? Yes. And I'm just taking notes. So if it looks like I'm not looking up the whole time, I'm taking notes so I make sure I get everything straight. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. So what prompted you to file this petition on February 6th of this year? A situation occurred January 28th, I believe, at a recreation center. with me and Miss McCullen. All right. And what happened on that date? Someone was having a visual that my sister threw, like my sister threw the visual. And wait, let me hold on a second. Hold on. I'm having a little bit of hard time hearing. You're a little muffled. When you said my phone keeps doing that. It keeps going in and out. okay, I can hear you. So you said you were at a recreation center, and then I heard something about a visual. Yes, it was a vigil. Was it a vigil? Yes. Got it. Okay, so there was a vigil at a recreation center, and what happened? Okay, so I came up there, but I had left. So when I came back, it had got dark already. So Miss McCullen has a TPO out against me, which I am aware of, and I know I'm not supposed to be around her. To shorten, the vigil was over. I was leaving. Before I was getting ready to leave, I was walking down the hill. Miss McCullen came running behind me with an umbrella and swung the umbrella at me. And her and my sister got into a physical altercation, which she assumed I jumped in. And she went on social media, which you will see the evidence, where she was saying that we were going to have to fight and it's never going to be over. And she would piss on my baby and just going on and on. And I filed this petition because I'm trying to protect me and my child, like she's trying to protect her and her child. Okay. Have you had any contact with her before that, since the TPO was issued in May? No, ma'am. I was pregnant at the time. I had not seen her in a year almost. So had she communicated with you at any point or made contact with you at any time before this date on February 6th? She hadn't communicated with me, but she have had words with me and her have mutual parties, and they have came back and told me things that she have said. So were these things she said to tell you, or were these things that she was just saying about you? It was things she was saying to tell me. Okay. And what sort of messages and around when were those? Okay. You said what was said during the time? Yeah, give me some examples and around approximately when they were communicated to you and by who. Okay, around August of last year, it was told to me that she had a gun. She was walking around with a gun. Okay, then like. Well, let me ask you this. You said August of last year she had a gun and was walking around with a gun. Looking for me and my child's father. Did she say, so did they say she said to say she was looking for you, or just they saw her and she was looking for you? No, they said she was looking for me and my child's father. But did they say to tell you, to let you know that she was looking for you? Okay. All right. And obviously, hold on. All right. And have you, I mean, obviously, if she has a temporary protective order prohibiting contact with you, have you made it known to her that you do not want any contact with her? Yes, I have. I have made it known to everybody that I did not want any contact with her. All right. And have you initiated any contact with her? No. All right. All right. What happened after, and this place where she reportedly showed up with a gun, what was this location and what is it in relation to you? It was my child's father's house. He used to stay on Metropolitan in some apartments called Heartland Station. Mm-hmm. And she used to come over there all the time because she used to be dating the girl upstairs. And they said she used to be in the breezeway, like they have caught her in the breezeway, trying to see if we were gonna come outside. Like, I think you just froze. Can you hear me now?
Okay, yeah. So you said trying to see if you were going to come outside. Did they? I know people observed them there. Did she tell them to tell you that she was there?
No, they didn't. She didn't tell them to tell me she was there.
Okay. So people just said that she was there looking for you.
Basically, yes.
All right. All right. Did you ever see her there then?
No.
Okay. So what happened after August?
After August, I don't recall anything else happening until January of this year. 3 days before the incident happened at the recreation center, it was told to me by one of her friends that she
Okay, hold on a second. Do you have that person here today to testify?
No, I don't have that person.
Okay,
today.
so otherwise that's going to be hearsay.
Okay, but
And so
I
we can't go into that. So something happened 3 days before the recreation center incident.
Mm-hmm.
And did you get a, well, her friend said something to you.
Basically.
Okay. And then what happened?
Nothing happened after that. I seen her 3 days after that situation, and that's when all this drama started happening.
Okay. When you say all this drama, tell me what it is.
Her and my sister getting into an altercation, her going on social media, just doing a lot, just doing too much. Telling
Is she
business.
sending you is she sending you messages on social media?
No, because I have her blocked. But if I did not have her blocked, she would send me messages. She used to.
When's the last time you received a message from her on social media?
Probably back in 2021.
All right. And do you follow any of her social media?
No.
Okay. So you have not directly been communicated anything on the social media, right?
No.
All right. All right. All right. After the incident at the recreation center, what happened?
Nothing happened after the incident at the recreation center. I spoke with officers, and basically I don't have a warrant. I haven't seen any warrants pop up. And this situation, I went and took a TPO out on her a week after that happened, and now we're here in court.
Okay. Okay. And I'll just let you, I'm asking these specific questions, not to discount anything that you're saying, but because under the law for a stalking petition, there's certain findings of fact I have to be able to find involving a course of conduct, a certain number of specific contacts over a period of time. Stalking is the kind of the highest level of protective order because there's no direct familial relationship between the parties. And so that's why I'm asking these questions that I'm asking. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Do you have any other evidence you would like me to consider?
No, I have.
Let me say this. So this evidence, I know you mentioned that you had submitted some evidence to the court. The court doesn't automatically, I mean, the clerk stores what your proposed submissions are, but I don't look at it until you bring it to my attention and we decide that it's something I can look at, okay, legally. So I haven't looked at anything. Is there any evidence that you have submitted that you want the court to look at?
I have videos that I would like the court to look at, yes.
Have you submitted them already?
Yes, I have.
Okay, Madam Clerk, can you tell me, tell me what these videos are?
It's 3 different videos. One video is her admitting to being in the same place where I was, knowing that she had a TPO out on me.
So,
Another.
Okay, go ahead. I'll ask you about them after you tell me what the 3 are. Go ahead.
Okay, the other video is her basically saying that she was gonna piss on my baby when she seen my baby. Another video was I can't recall that video. I would have to go back and look and see.
And what are the approximate dates of these?
They were January the 28th.
And how did you get these videos?
They were sent to me from mutual friends.
Okay, so she did not send these to you.
No, she didn't.
Okay. So in the first one, admitting to being in the same place as you after the TPO, what was that in relation to? Do you know?
The situation that had happened. Like,
So that was the rec center.
yes.
Okay. And then the second one, is that just involving your kids being at your child's father's house?
Yes.
Or something like that?
Yes.
Okay. All right. And then, all right. And do you know what the third one is?
The third one, okay, I remember. The third one was basically her saying that every time she see me or my sister, we're gonna have to fight, basically.
Do you know around when that was posted?
It was, all of this was the same day, January 28th.
So these were all on the same day?
Yes.
Okay.
Can you excuse me for a second? I need to pick my baby up.
Okay. Yeah, you need to pick up physically, not leave the house.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
No.
And
No.
all right. And
No.
all right. All right. And about how long are these videos, Miss Good?
They're very short. I think they're like probably, one is probably like 4 seconds. The longest one is probably like 10 seconds. They're not that long.
Okay. All right. Well, since there's no objection, I'll go ahead and let Madam Clerk, can we play the first one? All right.
Great evidence.
Do you know what that video was?
No.
Madam, Miss Good, do you know what that video was?
Yes, that's her saying she was gonna piss on my son.
Gonna kiss on your son. Okay.
Piss. P-I-S-S.
Oh, pit. Okay, yeah, that's a little bit different. And that was that same day?
Yes.
Okay. But that was not sent to you, right?
No. No, that was sent to me, but that was sent to me by a mutual party.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. But it wasn't sent to you by her.
No, it wasn't sent to me by her.
Okay. And well, I can't, is that party present today?
No, that party is not present.
Okay, well then I won't go farther on that. All right, Madam Clerk, could you play the next video?
Girl, well, you know it every week. They gonna have to fight all their life when they do get out of jail. You know when they say all your life you gotta fight. Boy, on God, that's on my mama. My mama can't wake up by her grave right now. That's on Bun. So
What? Yeah.
y'all be asking so how this happened. Her sister.
All right, so that looks like, was that a screen recording from someone else that they sent to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and is that person here today?
That person was here, but they stepped out.
All right. And that's just something that allegedly she posted on her feed?
Yes.
Oh, and somebody has to change batteries. Do we hear it? Change
right.
the batteries, please, on your fire
All
alarm.
right, Madam Clerk, can you play the next one, please?
I was following her sister. Not, we at a park. You can go to a park. No, y'all was scared. That what it was. You was scared.
All right. And was that sent to you by the same person?
Yes.
Boo,
All right. Okay. Do you have any other evidence that you would like the court to consider or any witnesses?
Please no.
I do have witnesses, but they're not, they have stepped out right now.
All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead with and hear from the respondent. If they appear before we're done, we can bring them in if they want, if you can communicate with them, if they want to log back on. But otherwise we may have to proceed without them. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So Ms. McCollum, do you have any specific questions you would like me to ask Ms. Good about what she has testified to? Otherwise, you are allowed to then just go ahead and give me what you would like the court to know.
Okay, I just want to go on and go to what I like the court to know.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, first and foremost, she's not giving all the details. I have videos. I have witnesses also. It started back last year on May 14, 2022. This when I first went and did the TPO out on her. She posted 8 months before that, my residence was just broken into and I was shot 3 times. She posted my address on social media, which is Instagram. She also, I got a video of her out in my neighborhood saying like she came to my house and all that. I went to Cobb County. They told me I had to do a TPO out on her because my resident was just broken into and I was just shot. So they told me to do a TPO out on her when I did call the police about my mailbox being broke. When I called the police, they told me to go to the county she resided in to do a temporary protection order. I did that. She was served. She came to court. She agreed to stay away from me and my son. She also posted my dad's address on Instagram, saying that she'll go to his house next. After that, I haven't had no contact with her. On January 29th, 2023, I was at a candlelight visual. When the candlelight was over it, I was walking to the car. Her sister approached me from the back, said something about her sister and snatched on my jacket. So when her sister snatched on my jacket, I had an umbrella in my hand because it was raining. I did hear her sister with an umbrella. I never hit her, period. I never laid a finger on her, touched her or anything. While me and her sister was having the physical altercation, she jumped in the fight with a knife and she began stabbing me twice between my legs by my vagina area and in the back of my legs. I have the video of the stabbing also. After that, I guess, I don't know, the police came I went to Grady, the police came to the hospital, however it went, they had a picture of her. The people at the park gave her and her sister name. They said they had 5 phone calls to 911 from the same location park. The park have cameras. I guess they went back and replayed the cameras. It was never a video right then of the physical altercation. Somebody ended up sending a video to my phone like 4 days later, showing her with the knife running around in the park. The investigator just called me yesterday on the case. He said the fugitive squad will be going to go pick her up shortly, and that was it.
I'm sorry. Were you actually injured in this incident on the 29th?
Yes.
Yes. And so you said you went to Grady?
Mm-hmm. I have my medical paperwork papers. I have my police report. I have the video.
All right. What about those videos that she posted of you apparently talking on social media about her and her sister?
Yeah, because the police was looking for them at the time. I did get on live and I did say that they is going to jail. I did say that.
Okay.
Yeah, that was me in the hospital bed at Grady. That was on January 29th, not the 28th. And it was around like 8:00 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right.
And then like days after that, after I guess she came and did a TPO on February 6th. That was like a week and a day later after the stabbing incident. On February 11th, she seen a friend of mine and pulled her to the side, asking my friend, could she talk to me and all this and that. My friend present here in court today. She's waiting for y'all to let her in the room.
All right. Let's bring in, what's her name?
Tierica Stone.
All right. Let's bring in Tierica Stone,
At least this girl has her witnesses. They're not just hanging out in a stoop somewhere else.
please. All right, Miss Stone. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear.
All right. Oh, hold on. Wait, now we go. There we go. Miss Stone, can you unmute, please, and raise your right hand? There we go. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth under penalty of perjury?
Yes.
Okay.
Go out.
Miss McCullum, let me ask you this. Miss Stone, do you know Summer Good?
I know of her. I don't know her, like just knowing her.
Okay, but like, do you know her by sight?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Do you know Jasmine McCullum?
Yes,
Okay. How do you know Jasmine McCullum?
we grew up together.
Okay. Miss Good, I'm going to need you to stay on camera, please, ma'am. All right, Miss McCullum.
Camera.
Miss McCullum, you may ask her questions that you would like to ask her.
Okay, Tierica, she stated that one of my friends or somebody told her, I guess talked to her, told her something after the stabbing incident. On February 11th, then she pulled you to the side at a repass?
Yeah, we was at a repass, which is my cousin Deotic Daniel repass, and I came in encounter with Summer Good. But before I came in encounter with Summer Good, her sister was there at the repass because her sister had her baby by my brother. So they was there. So I was already there though. I had been there when it first started, before her sister came, before she came. We was playing music, this and that, we was partying. Around about 7 something, I got a phone call from my other friend saying that she was on the way up there. Well, not Summer, which is my friend. She was saying she was coming up there to hang with me. So by this time, I guess they had to walk in. My friend and some of them had to walk in around the same time because it was dark when I seen her. And when she approached me first, because I was standing in a booth and I was telling the DJ to play a song. And when I was telling the DJ to play a song, she came up there trying to tell the DJ to play something too. And I was like, I think my cousin said something to her first, and then I was like, I got this. And then she was like, yeah, because he playing something. But make a long story short, we talked, and the conversation was about her talking to my friends. Basically, hey, by Wednesday, can you talk to her about Wednesday? That we was talking about why she stabbed Diamond. I asked her, I said, why did you do that? She said something. I can't even remember what she said because it was so much going on, but I can't remember the exact words she said.
So let me stop you this real quick. So your testimony is that Miss Good asked,
why is there a DJ at the repass? Thank you. Could you imagine this poor judge's notebook? Oh my God.
You to see if you could talk to Miss McCullum by Wednesday for her.
But yes, she did. That was February the 11th, 2023 when I talked to her. Yes.
Okay. And what did you tell her?
And I was like, I will see. I will call my friend and see. I said, but are you sure you want to talk this situation out and y'all can let this go? She said, yeah, I'm positive. She had a friend with her. And I was with my mom and my cousin who is here now. He was out there too. So I asked her, I said, are you sure you want to let this go? Because it's really about nothing. It's really about y'all going back and forth about nothing. She was like, yeah, I'm sure. Get her right by Wednesday and we can see how we can handle this situation. And that was it. And I got out their car and got back in mine. but we was in front of her sister door by this time.
Okay.
Miss Stone was also there at the recreation center at the park. She was also there too when the altercation happened with me and her sister getting into a physical fight.
Okay. So Miss Stone, tell me what you saw that day.
I can't remember the day, what the exact day was.
The day,
it was
the day that
January
there was.
28th.
Okay, January the 29th at 4:50, we left off in some apartments near Mechanicsville. When we left off in Mechanicsville, it was my mom, Kennedy, which is my daughter, and my 2 sons, and my brother and my cousin, the person who's here now. And when we left out the door, it was like 4 something going on 4:50 because we got to Mechanicsville Recreation at 4:50 to be exact. I parked my car first. Jasmine parked her car after. And once Jasmine parked her car and I parked my car, I got out of my vehicle and sat in the car with Jasmine, which was me, my mom, and my daughter. And when I got out the car and sat in the car with her, her sister pulled on the side of us. And
Now, let me ask you this. Hold on a second. When you say her, you were in the car with Miss McCullum.
Yes.
At that point, had you seen Miss Good?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So the first you see of Miss Good or her sister is at what point?
After we parked and sat for a minute and it started to drizzle a little bit because it was raining that day.
Drizzle my nizzle.
It was like, I could say it was like 5:10, 5:12 to be exact when I seen the sister, but never seen her.
Okay. And so what happened after that?
When I
sitting in the
seen,
car and it started.
when we were just sitting in the car, we were just talking or whatever, and her sister pulled up on the side, and when her sister pulled up, she get out the car.
What up, Rose?
But she get out the car and walk like she going towards the park, but turn right back around and get back in her car. So at this point, she backs out and my brother pull up. So when my brother pull in, I see him, just him with some balloons and whatever and whatnot. So he left his car parked right there. By this time, it was like 5:30. So I'm like, it's 5:30, y'all ain't started yet. So by this time, my other cousin walk on the side of Jasmine McCullum car. And was like, hey, what's up, Jasmine? Where you been? I ain't seen you in a minute. It was 5:30 though. I haven't seen Summer at all. So we get out the car. By this time, like 5:45 or something, we get out the car, we walk to the park. But the whole time, my kids was already at the park playing, which is my 2 sons, Samir and Sincere. My daughter was with me, but the 2 boys was at the park playing with my cousin, who's here with me now. And we walked over there to the park, and we seen her sister. Her sister seen my mother and Jasmine, because Jasmine and my mother, who I can get on the phone right now, was standing next to each other up under one umbrella. It was only one umbrella up under the hood. And did nobody have an umbrella but Jasmine and my mama, and it was only one, and they was up under it together. So once we seen the sister, nobody never said nothing. By this time, it's getting dark, it's getting dark, it's getting dark. Her sister say, we're waiting on someone. That's why we haven't started the candlelight. So by this time, it was like 6. It probably like 6:20 something. So she was like, everybody can, stand around and talk or whatever y'all need to do because I'm waiting on somebody. So at like 7 something, that's when I seen Summer. It was dark though. It was very dark. I didn't know who she was at first until I walked over there with a speaker, and she was like up under the hood with a hood on, and she said something to me, and her exact words was, "It's cold" or something. And I was like, "Dang, where you came from, girl?" That's my exact words to her. "Dang, where you came from?" And she never said anything. She, geeky, and I walked off. That was it.
Kiki. Let's go.
After that, we was letting the balloons go. Me, my mother, and Jasmine was still up under the hood. I don't know where Summer walked to because I wasn't paying attention to where she went. from that point on. I just know that Jasmine was standing next to me and had my keys, asked me for my keys to go to the car. That was it. I didn't turn around and see who walked towards who. I didn't see where Summer went. I didn't know, like, I thought she had done left at that point because I never seen her after Jasmine asked me for my keys.
Did you see anything happen after that?
Did I see anything happen after what part?
After you gave Miss McCollum your keys?
When I gave her the keys, I didn't see her like walk off. I didn't see Summer walk off. But once I turned around after I heard Summer's sister say, "Diamond," that's when I turned around and seen the sister. I don't know her real name, so I just know her by Kato. That's where I see Kato run down there and grab Jasmine on the shoulder. And that's when Jasmine and Kato got into it. And they started fighting. Well, Jasmine swung an umbrella and hit Kato. When she hit Kato with the umbrella, they started fighting, but Summer Good was not right there when they first started fighting. My mama had done pushed her back.
All right. And so then what happened?
You know, when they have the court reporter that mouths everything, mouths all the words, and then she said, "Diamond!" And then she hit her with the umbrella, and then Kiki came over and kicked it in the mouth, and then pissed on her son, and Diamond, Kiki.
As they fighting, I see a knife. But by this time, my mama had done pushed her, so my mama had done already seen the knife. So once I seen her going at my mom, like by my mom's shoulder, I'm like, "Whoa, you tripping." Like, I'm trying to stop her. I'm telling her, like, "Stop, Summer, please stop." I'm begging her to stop, like, "Stop." She started running up. So I'm like, so that's when I grabbed her with one arm and I had a bag in another hand. So I really couldn't grab her with both of my arms. So I had one arm on her and I had a bag on the next arm, and she swung the knife, like swung it at me. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna stop. I ain't gonna break you up from doing nothing. I'm just gonna go get my friend.
Is that the same knife that stabbed her in the vajayjay that she has video of? I didn't watch this. I was driving home from work when this was recording, so I'm watching this for the first time.
So that's when I went and got Jasmine and tried to pull her back, and that's when the fight had ended up being broke up. Once that broke up, Summer pulled out her phone and started recording Jasmine. And I'm telling Summer, like, "Nah, don't do that." By this time, Jasmine was already cut. I thought I had got down there before she got cut, but I didn't. We walk into the car. They go to the car. Kato walks back up on Jasmine.
Kato Kalin?
At the car. At my car. While my mama is.
That cut out. It cut out. I gotta go retrieve it. What a cliffhanger. I have to edit it. I didn't have time. I promise to bring you part 2. I promise to bring you part 2. We're just getting down to who's Kiki. Oh, guys, it was fantastic. I will see you tomorrow. Another great live. Thank you, Rose, Super Train, Rich the Younger, Heather Smoochy Face, Mark the Magic Dragon, Monica, my OG mod, Laura, OG Mac, and a wannabe player. The hood's been good to me. Guys, have a good night. I love you all. Same bat time, same bat channel. I will see you tomorrow.